Gabe Ervin has been named RB1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go ahead and play the running back quote real quick. Let's hear from the coach.
Yeah, I think for us, I think we feel like Gabe is clearly the number one guy. Ramir, clearly the third down back and still a runner, right? But Ramir's ability to track protections and catch the ball in the backfield is pretty special. I think, every scout that comes in here, I tell them all, like, hey, I had Jermichael Hasty at Baylor still playing. I said he's just like him. He can run option routes, choice routes. So I think Ramir's got a future. Ramir has a little tweak to his hammy. So you asked about the injury report. Should be back this week. Just kind of got tight on him the other day, so we held him, but should be fine. So I think kind of situationally those two guys, and then Anthony is as when the ball's in his hands, Anthony's elite running the football. Anthony just he's put the ball on the ground too much. He's fumbled the ball too much, and no matter how talented you are, if you fumble the football, you can't play for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to work on it with AG. He's had a good camp up until the last couple of days and sort of turning the ball over, but it's been an issue. And I normally wouldn't say that out loud, but I'll say it because Anthony, he knows exactly. Hey, I've got to conquer this. But when he's right, he sees it as well as anybody. And then we have a 1-2-3 punch. And then I'd say Johnson is he's in the running to be our starting kick returner, and Emmett's he's a versatile all around back, and I think he can help us as well.
Gabe Ervin has one. If you see the dude, look at that. That dude is really yoked right now.
I mean, that's not like the best angle. He still looks yoked.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, so like he's put in a lot of work. I mean, he's even said that like last year he was not 100%. Because people are like, well, he wasn't even a starter, barely played last. He wasn't. He was still coming off of a really bad knee injury against Oklahoma. And he was a true freshman, and I kind of went back and kind of watched him a little bit, and he really did run well, but he ran with inexperience. And I think that, being in that system, getting to practice and then coming in just situationally in game experience, he has game experience. But I think especially the new staff and everything, I think that only helped him. As far as Ramir goes, that doesn't shock me. I mean, that is how you use a guy like Ramir. He's quick, he's elusive, but he's not like the guy that you give every single down to like pound the rock. That is what Gabe Ervin is going to be. Ramir has a lot more of that explosive talent, but not the big physical presence that you get with a Gabe Ervin.
I'm glad Ramir is thoroughly in the mix as it appears right now. Look, we've been fooled with him before. Like that's how it felt last year. It felt like they were leading up to last season. It felt like if they needed to name drop somebody, they name drop Ramir. Yeah. Like no matter what. And then he barely played.
And you've seen him like be a productive piece of the offense within I think we talked about this last year, within the Big Ten. It takes a certain player to be able to play that smash mouth type football and be a good player in the Big Ten. He proved that he could do it. And Anthony Grant, I mean, I don't like talking bad about the kids, and I think he's talented, but it doesn't shock me that, he's really 3 right now. Just going back, he dances too much. He doesn't hit the hole. He is a little bit careless with the ball. That kind of reared its head a little bit last year. He had sparks here and there.
Did he have any fumbles last year? Yeah. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but there was a lot of
not
bad,
a lot.
So
there was a lot of bad last year. But when I look at him, I don't think he's more so of kind of like that gadget type person where you give your starter a rest and he'll do stuff for you. I don't think he is the workhorse that he was trying to be last year. And that kind of showed its head throughout the course of the season when he started off real well and his production went way down. Part of that was play calling, but part of that was just, I think he was just being worked too much.
Now, let's not understate it. A big part of it was play calling. Look, Wick did not want to run. Okay.
No.
And our offensive line, with the way that offense was situated scheme wise, didn't serve itself well for Anthony Grant, because Anthony Grant is not Amir Abdullah. Look, I actually wanted to bring up Amir Abdullah because I was watching some highlights of Amir earlier today. He just he had it all. He had it all except for that like Derrick Henry factor. That Derrick Henry like big ol'. He's a crazy example, but even Braylon Allen or someone like that, you know what I mean? That big can run you over factor. He could do it, but he just wasn't that big. But he had patience. he had the timing of it just down. He knew when to be fast and when not to be. You know,
knew when to cut it, like knew when to bounce it outside. So you can't teach some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just trying to defend AG a little bit because he did show sparks of being a potential talent for running back one. I just don't think he's the type of back like Amir where it doesn't matter if there's a hole or not. He's going to find some yards somewhere. Same with like Rex Burkhead. Mm-hmm. He's the type of back where if there's a hole, he can make a good move on a guy on the second level. Like he showed it. But if there's not a hole, him dancing around behind the line of scrimmage ain't going to do anything for us. You just look at those backs that we had of that Bo Pelini era, just back to back, just Rex Burkhead and Amir Abdullah. One thing that those dudes had in common is they almost never took negative yards. Like they always, even on a horrible broke down play, like Rex or Amir, they'd find a yard or two. You know what I mean? Like, and it seemed like with AG, there was a lot of TFLs going on.
Yeah, no, and a lot of that's the dance factor. I mean, the running back is one of those things that you get downhill as fast as you can, know when to bounce it out. And listen, like, I don't think he's a bad back at all. I'm not trying to disparage him, but as far as like having that person back there, because the running back is something that just, I mean, you can look at it just within today and football in general. It's starting to be a forgotten position because we don't have that explosive player that people are like. There's a reason people always talk about Christian McCaffrey, talk about Derrick Henry. Most offenses forget about the running back. They'll focus on other things and be like, here, can you get us a couple of yards here and there? But they don't use it like the running back used to be used. The running back used to be the offense. Everything else was just added to the run game, but now it's kind of switched. So I would really like to have a piece back there that is like a Ramir, that has that explosive ability that the defense has to think about. Because I'm sorry, but they're not really thinking that Anthony Grant's going to beat you by himself. But when we had Rex Burkhead, when we had Amir Abdullah, defense had to plan around them, and that opened up a pass game for a quarterback at the time, for Taylor Martinez, who could not throw, but he had guys wide open. And that's what good run game gives you, that dynamic player back there.
Completely agree. I mean, I'm very high on Ramir also. I just think he has so much to bring to the table. But it also, what you're saying with the way offenses have flipped a little bit in the modern era, and how you just need a piece back there to make them plan around it. I agree with that. But it's that's another reason why Gabe just intrigues me so much, because we just haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he looks so good, and all the stuff coming out of camp is so positive with him. The one play we did see, I don't think I have it brought up. I wouldn't want to look for it right now. But the one play we did see was in that one highlight video. And by all accounts, Isaac Gifford is a dude. I mean, he's a single digit. Coaches speak highly of him. But then this one clip, Gabe is trucking him. I mean, and he just looked like a dude out there. And Rule even said, one of the things he said in that press conference the other day is he was like, you know, I got here and I looked at the running back room and I saw Gabe Ervin and I just said, you know, whoa, that's what it's supposed to look like, you know, and hopefully he's sort of filling that mold a little bit this year. But